Hey everyone, in today's video we'll be going over vehicles and movement in Hytale, including everything we know that's going to be in the early access and some things that might come later. Most of the information we know is from older footage of the game before the revival, so there always is the possibility that some of it has changed since then, but regardless of if it's a build of Hytale from 8 years ago or a build from now, movement is obviously a very important aspect of the game. And from what we've seen of Hytale's massive maps and sprawling zones, it really would be a pain without them. Before we talk about movement and its specifics, we should address what we know about Hytale's foundational system of workbenches that vehicles will be based on. When Hytale released the creative mode footage, they perhaps accidentally showed off the workbench section of the crafting menu. Here we could see furnaces, alchemy benches, chicken coops, and even more. In future videos, I'd love to break down every option here, but for today's video, the most important part of the screenshot is the bottom right, where you can see minecarts and boats, which you actually do know a decent bit about already. The movement option we actually already know the most about is boats. We know boats are used to explore the ocean, obviously, and the oceans are going to be sprawling environments, even more expansive than the ones in Minecraft. When navigating in boats, we'll be able to visit different structures in the water, such as shipwrecks or water caves shown in these screenshots. According to some of the Hytale developers, there will also be all sorts of mobs that can attack you while you're crossing the seas in your boat, including sharks, crabs, pufferfish, and piranhas. Some non-hostile mobs will also be in the oceans, such as pike, clownfish, and actually a lot of different fish that have yet to be added. Speaking of fish, Simon, the lead developer of Hytale, has actually talked a lot about fishing and how it's going to be implemented into the game. He said it's not going to be ready just yet for first day early access, but he's thinking about quickly coding trap fishing so we could still get our fair share of fish. Back in the original concepts of the game, fishing was going to be a pretty large part, similar to other adventure games like Terraria or I was going to say Hytale or Minecraft. But fishing isn't the only post-launch ocean feature that Simon has talked about. In some concept art, and specifically in this Twitter post, Simon talked about adding the Kraken boss to the ocean post-launch. I think it's safe to assume it'll be similar to like a Sea of Thieves kind of Kraken, and it'll attack you while you're in your boat, which can be crazy, man. I never thought of Hytale as a game with any kind of like scariness or horror at all, but I'm not gonna lie, if I was younger playing this game and a Kraken attacked me in the water, I would be terrified, man. Now moving on to our next vehicle, unlike boats, we actually have footage of minecarts being used. In trailer 1 all the way back from 2018, we could see a player using a minecart deep in the mines. We also see that minecarts have the utility of a jump mechanic, where you could bunny hop and skip over empty spaces, which you can see right here. We also know minecarts will be similar to how they are in Minecraft, where you build and place different rails and ride them on your minecart. We don't know if they'll be as advanced as Minecraft, where you could place different items or crafting benches in them, but personally I don't think that'll be in the game, at least during early access. I don't think that would be that big of a feature where they'd be willing to put that much time into fixing it to come out in early access, but I do think it'd be really cool if we got it later on down the line. Seeing how expansive Hytale's underground caves are in all of the zones, I think personally this will be the #1 used vehicle. If you look at other survival games with mining aspects such as Minecraft or Terraria, I know I keep bringing them up but they really are similar, minecarts are like the most used vehicle in the entire game. So I would honestly expect very similar for Hytale, at least at the beginning. Because we only saw the boat and the minecart in the crafting screenshot, this could suggest that the only vehicles that'll be available day 1 in the early access. But that definitely doesn't mean there aren't movement options they already showed to us that'll be in the game in the very near future. About a week ago on Twitter, Simon announced he found an old prototype for gliders he'll be adding into the game, which will presumably work similar to gliders in other adventure games such as the Zelda series or even modded Minecraft. And actually right as I'm recording this, Simon released footage of it. And I think I was right, it does look a lot similar to the open world Zelda games. Speaking of Zelda, in that same series of original tweets, Simon teased that they might add a hookshot or grappling hook type item, which would also undoubtedly end up being really cool. Another kind of flying item we saw a lot earlier in the development cycle is mechanical wings. Back then we got concept art for the mechanical wings that show that they'll attach to the user's back and allow them to gain speed and glide, almost exactly like Elytra in Minecraft. And right now we don't know if this is an early version of the gliders or something completely different entirely. Another vehicle has actually kind of been an enigma in the Hytale community, and we've actually seen it before. The hot air balloon. We saw the hot air balloon very momentarily in trailer 1, And all we really saw was a player inside of it ascending up. Although I really doubt this will be in the game day 1 of early access. Whenever it comes to the game, it'll be really cool. And actually open a Pandora's box of a bunch of different flying vehicles. It'll obviously be really important when it finally comes to the game. We could look at Minecraft Happy Gas, which are now one of the most useful items in the game that pretty much all they do is allow you to fly around. And that alone is very useful in a survival game with massive maps like Hytale and Minecraft. Another cool thing about all these vehicles that aren't in the game yet, but we know we're going to get them in the future, is they'll probably be modded into the game day 1 or day 2. And that's going to be a really cool prospect, which will also open a lot of other weird doors like actual cars in Hytale. And also obviously there's going to be some freaky stuff like the baby car. Like, I hate to be like weird, but you already know that cringe stuff is going to be in the game like day 1, bro. Obviously, due to Hytale's nature as a constantly developing game, I wouldn't doubt that we get even more vehicles added to the game in the future. And if not by the dev team, like I said before, we're definitely going to get a lot from mods. I mean, even besides for vehicles in this kind of movement, there are also a lot of other ways to get around the map, such as mounts, as we saw from the Raptor. So if you guys would want to see me make a video about mounts, I would love to do that. Let me know in the comments, right? Besides for that, that's all I got today, guys. Peace.